Am I audible to all? And whether screen is shared to you or not, please share it in the chat box. Okay, thank you. Now, wherever we have left in the last lecture, shall we start? I hope almost 31 members have joined. So once again, good morning to everyone. And let us start the discussion on power plant engineering. So in the last lecture, wherever we have left, that is, we have detailed about few statistics about the data which is related to the power plant engineering. Let us go ahead and proceed further for further details from the Ministry of Power website itself. So as I told you that in the last lecture, I was searching about the related link. So it is at the bottom of this particular web page. I hope everyone can see my screen. If I click on this related link, it will be get directed to this particular link. So these are what the organizations which are related to the Ministry of Power. So almost more than 15 organizations are related to Ministry of Power. So each of the organization is having a sort of separate company or organization which is related or linked with the central government of India. So first is the APTL, Appellate Tribunal for Electricity, then Bhakra Gas Management Board, Bureau of Energy Efficiency. This board is related with the quality of electrical energy as well as energy efficiency. Then Central Electricity Regulatory Commission, CERC. Might be some of you have heard about this Central Power Research Institute, CPRI, where it might be possible you to proceed for your further education. Then Damodar Valley Corporation, DVC, Joint Electricity Regulatory Commission, JERC, then NHPC, then most important as far as power sector is concerned, National Power Training Institute, then NTPC Limited, Northeastern Electrical Power Corporation Limited, NEPCO, Power Finance Corporation, which is looking for the finance related activities of power sector. Then Power Grid Corporation of India Limited, which will coordinate all the subgrids which are having in India. In India, we're having 5 subgrids, which will be coordinated by Power Grid Corporation of India Limited. Then POSCO will coordinate for power system operations, as well as we have separate organization for Rural Electrification Corporation Limited. With this, we have some hydro-related organizations like Satluj Vidyut Nigam Limited and Tehri Hydro Development Corporation Limited. Now, in this today's online lecture, we will discuss about few of them, and whenever you will get time, just go through all the details of every organization which is related to the Ministry of Power. Let first see. Earlier, actually, I've opened few of them. Let's see, Damodar Valley Corporation. Okay, so this is the organizational website for Damodar Valley Corporation. So their key activities is mentioned here. The activities which are concerned to us is power generation, transmission, and distribution. So let's see power generation by Damodar Valley Corporation Limited. So here is the statistics and details of this. So wherever they're having projects, so project name is mentioned in the first column, its location is mentioned in the second column. The installed capacity is also mentioned, and number of units and their operation dates or commissioning date is also mentioned. So these are almost all are related or all are contributing to electrical power sector in terms of power generation. Then we will move towards NTPC Limited. If you Google it, the organizations, or if you Google it, the power related PSUs in India, PSU means public sector undertaking units. So if you Google it, you will get a result like this. So let's open this first. So major PSUs related with the energy sector in India are NTPC. This is now related with the Thermal Power Corporation. Then NHPC related with the hydroelectric power. Then NPCIL related with the nuclear power. Then NLC, Neyveli Lignite Corporation Limited, also related with the thermal. DVC, likewise, many of PSUs are under the or related with the power sector of India. Let us go to the NTPC, which is Thermal Power Corporation, National Thermal Power Corporation. So here, let's check the power generation. So in this, we have a coal-based power generation, gas-based power generation, as well hydro and renewable. Let's say the coal-based power generation or stations. So almost with NTPC, 24 thermal power stations are related, as well as they have joint ventures or subsidiaries with some of the organizations or some of the states which are in India. So if you look at the first column, second column, it is what the name of the plant, then the state of the plant, and the commissioned capacity of that particular plant is mentioned here. Then about the coal-based joint ventures and subsidiaries which are mentioned here. Then if you move towards the gas-based power station, where natural gas is used as a fuel for the boiler, and with the help of that, the steam is generated. That generated steam is utilized to rotate the electrical turbines, which in turn rotate the rotor of the alternator, and electricity will be generated. So this is about the gas-based power station which are related or coming under the NTPC. Then about the hydro-based power projects. So these are some of the projects which are related with the NTPC. Now, while talking about, okay, let's see some photographs of different power plants by which we can able to discuss it in real time. So first, coal-based power plants. So even some lectures are released on the YouTube about the thermal power station. So before to proceed with that, we will just take a highlights of thermal power station. So whatever right now you can see in the picture, okay, let's see. Yeah. So coal is dumped to the thermal power station yard, or the space to store the coal with the help of wagons by railway. So this is what pictorial view of how the coal is transported to the sites of the thermal power station. Then whatever coal the power station is getting through the wagons of railways, which is in very raw format, which is not having any uniform size, as you can see in the picture. Then this coal is converted into a sort of powder form with the help of pulverization process. In the pulverization process, the coal which is stored in the outside or the stackyard of the thermal power station is crushed with the help of some machineries or mechanical devices. And that pulverized coal, you can see, say this is the pulverized coal, which is pulverized at the site. So this pulverized coal is through some mechanism and mechanical devices, cranes and all. So it has been put it onto the trolley conveyors, and this conveyor is moving the coal or pulverized coal to the boiler of the thermal power station. The pulverization is done to reduce the ash content from the coal as well as to increase the boiler efficiency. So this is about the conveyor belt arrangement in the coal power station. So this is, you can see a stackyard. From this image, you can imagine how much large area it is required to store the coal. For the storage, we are having actually two types in the thermal power station. So one type is the processed coal, which will be get stored inside the room or inside the boiler area. And other is, this is, you can say, a sort of dead stock. So almost 40 days dead stock is been stored in the stackyard of the thermal power station. So whenever there is a scarcity of the coal from outside, this stored coal can be utilized to generate the electricity. So this is the purpose of this particular storage in the thermal power station. Next, this is the overall view of, you can say, a thermal power station. So this is sort of space which has been utilized for the coal. These are the conveyor belts through which the coal is supplied to the thermal power station. Before to supply to the boiler, a lot of processes has been done, which contains the pulverization first. Then that pulverized coal is passed through the magnetic separator. If any magnetic parts or material or contents are there in the coal, that will be separated through the magnetic separator. And then after processed coal is been dried, that is, moisture content of that coal is removed, by which once again the efficiency of the combustion will get improved. This is what some of the garden area just beside the thermal power plant or thermal power station. This is the overview of a thermal power station. So almost these are what the stacks from which the steam after utilization to generate electricity is been released to the environment. These are what the chimney or stack of the thermal power station. Okay, so this is just overview about the thermal power station. I hope almost all images we have seen from this. Yeah. Now let's move towards the hydro-based power projects. Sorry. Yeah. As far as hydropower plant is concerned, the major part of the power plant, that is hydropower plant, is the site selection. So as you can see in this image, this is one of the image of hydropower plant, which is in India. So the site selection, as I said, the important factor in the installation of hydropower plant, because the area is very large for to construct overall project of hydropower plant. So therefore, it needs us to utilize the available natural resources. Like these are what the natural resources, and which has been utilized to store the water. So water is stored in the catchment area. The water you can see here is stored in the catchment area. So likewise, number of things it needs us to consider as well. The height at which we are going to store the water in the reservoir, and the height at which we are placing or installing a generator is also important. As much as higher height we are having, that much of less amount of water is required to generate the electricity. So this is what the powerhouse installed at the base of the dam. So this is the dam, and at this particular end or the base of this dam, the powerhouse is installed. Then about say gas-based power stations. Everything is mentioned in the video lectures which have been there on my YouTube channel. Please go through those video lectures first, and then just try to get the things which are theoretical from your curriculum. As like the thermal power station, there is no much difference in between coal-based power plant, gas-based power plant, or nuclear power plant. Only the difference is type of fuel has been used to generate the steam. In case of coal-based power plant, generally coal is used to for the combustion purpose, by which we can convert water into the steam. In the gas-based power plants, with the help of gas as a fuel for the combustion, we will convert water into the steam. And for the nuclear power plant, nuclear fuel like uranium, thorium, we will use to have a heat energy by which we can convert water into the steam. Okay, let's move towards the renewable energy. Yeah, the power plants which are related or which are coming under the NTPC from the renewable category has been listed in this particular web page. The projects which are commissioned in the earlier days has been listed in this particular table, and some projects are under implementation. Those are listed in the second table. So as we have discussed in the last lecture about our largest solar power plant in the Asia. So this is what some pictures of that particular power plant might be you have seen in the newspapers or television news channels. So these are what some pictures of that power plant. So that power plant is situated in Rajasthan, and it is of 260 megawatt capacity. This is almost largest in the Asia till date in the renewable category. Okay, this is almost all about from this NTPC. Then let's move towards, I hope. Okay. So this is Damodar Valley Corporation. Yeah, then next is Northeastern Electrical Power Corporation Limited. So in the Northeast region, they're having a separate sort of organization to manage the power in that particular area. No doubt, every area or every part of the almost subgrids which are electrically connected to each other. Yeah, but every part is having their own significance in the power sector. So if you look at the details, so almost this is Northeastern Electrical Power Corporation Limited website. So this is generates about 40% of the energy required for the northeast of India. And this is what one and only this PSU, which will coordinate almost all sectors of power plants. Then hydro, the largest is 405 megawatts. So likewise, many details you will get it if you go through this particular website of Northeastern Electrical Power Corporation Limited. Yeah, let's see about some plants which are coming under the Northeastern Electrical Power Corporation Limited. Let's see first hydropower plants. So once again, as already we have seen from different organization website, the project name, location, install capacity, and the total capacity. So if you see the first, that is Kopili Hydroelectric Power Plant. This is situated in the state of Assam. This installed capacity in terms of megawatts. So this power plant is having total 3 units. First unit is of 200 megawatts. Second unit is of 50 megawatt, and third unit is of 25 megawatt. And total capacity is about 275 megawatt. Right now, its current status is completed. Means it is feeding the electrical power to the grid. The unit means the generators. So in the first power plant, as this is might be new to you, they're having 3 generators, and each generator capacity is mentioned here, and the total generation is of 275 megawatts. So let's see the details of first power plant, hydropower plant. Yeah, so this is what the picture of that power plant